Hello, 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 YouTube. How are you guys doing? How have you guys been? That's right. It's your girl Ebony with Real Talk Therapy 101. Been missing in action a little bit. I started out, of course. Well, first of all, this is the first video for this week. For those of you that are new, let me introduce myself. My name is Ebony Campbell. I am a certified alcohol and drug counselor in the state of North Carolina. I'm also a certified peer support specialist in the state of North Carolina, as well as a master level qualified professional. I am currently back in school to become a licensed clinical social worker, get my master's in social work, so that I can do what I do believe now is my passion to do, which is behavioral health along with substance abuse counseling. In the interim, I have been doing mental health since 2016, worked under a lot of different agencies, did a lot of different things, and was inspired to begin this channel earlier this year. And I actually got started in September to have real talk conversations about what's going on with our mental health. Because a lot of times people shy away from taking care of their mental because it's like, hey, if I ain't crazy, I hear voices or whatever, I don't need to talk to somebody. When the reality of it is we all need someone that we can talk to and help us sort through things when we get in our uncharted waters as we navigate through this thing called life. So a couple of things I started adopting along the way. One of them is, letting you guys know who I am at the beginning of the week, and then we have a week-long conversation. My husband and I make t-shirts, and so I incorporated the custom-made tee for whatever was going on, and you guys will be able to order those soon through the channel. Then I'm a Coach addict, for those of you that don't know me, and so I started featuring a Coach accessory and or bag of the day, and whatever shoes, kicks and sneakers or whatever I would wear for the day. And so I just saw it fitting last week to start talking about grief and seasonal depression. And believe it or not, I was able to do 2 settings to post for you guys. And on the 3rd day, I tapped out because I've shared with everyone that I do have a diagnosis of depression. And the seasonal part sometimes gets you in ways that you don't expect it to get you. Not to mention that on these jobs, you're trying to close out for end of year, whatever. And so work was hectic, just trying to maneuver through what I was feeling for the upcoming holiday had gotten hectic. And so, I had tapped out. But then I remembered about being in our uncharted waters and staying the course and doing what's real. And so I wanted to take some time on this good Christmas Eve to just do a video, just something slight to recap some of the highlights and things from the year, and just to talk about some things as we start beginning to go into the new year. And guys, I'm looking at my lips. They just is chapped, and I know I got some Carmex somewhere. I meant to do that before I got on here. But anyway, if you're new here on Real Talk, I don't edit. I'm learning YouTube as I go, and I just like to share how to maneuver through some things using music. I use movies, TV shows, real life situations, hypotheticals, cartoons, you name it. We discuss it here on Real Talk Therapy. And sometimes when we're going through something and we don't know how to reach out and get help, it's hard for us to do that. And so in this month alone, I've battled with being sick, still, working through some sinus issues, to, trying to get prepared to do some interventions, strategies, coping skills, whatever you refer to them as, to help us get through the holidays, and had a moment myself. So if I'm going to be real about anything, I have to be real about the fact that when we start experiencing these emotional journeys, there are going to be times where you're going to be good, and there are going to be times where you're not good. And even though you may look at your life and feel like, and I'm wearing a throwback, one of the first shirts I made when I got started, and y'all know it has the camo. As you prepare, you got to be ready for war at any time. A lot of people sit around and look at their lives and wish it was something else. Have you ever considered looking at where you are, looking at your life and realizing that it's exactly what it's supposed to be? And then begin to appreciate those things and those people that are around you, that never left from around you, no matter what you experienced or what you went through or what you may still be fighting with. Remember, I told you guys that whole new year, new year, new me. You never know until you cross over into that threshold. I know it's a lot of stuff out of 2024 that I was able to let go of. It was a lot of stuff that I was able to work and get past. There was a lot of goals that I met. There was a lot of things that I realized about myself that I still needed to work on. But there are also some things that are going to follow me into the next year. But as long as I continue to strive and try to do better than I did the days before, then I know I can only expect better outcomes. Remember, if you continue to do the same thing, unless you switch it up just a little bit, you're going to continue to get the same results. Y'all are all on social media. You look at all this stuff, and it puzzles me how we can look around and feel like we're in dire straits or woe is me. Why am I going through this? When it's some celebrities out there, and I mean beautiful young women who are so insecure to the point where they have surgeries and all these different things to switch themselves up and just to fit whatever mold society has created for them because they don't know how to get back to their basics. Or you have these young men that's making all of this money, influencing our youth and all these different things, but they don't know what to do with it. And then they're facing legal and criminal stuff. Look at P. Diddy, on top of the world. And now it feels like the weight of the world is on top of him, I'm pretty sure. But with all of the fortune and fame and money and everything that he could have had, what made him resort to doing anything only if he's proven guilty of it? Because everything's alleged. But for what we did see of him and the young lady on the video, what made him do that? You don't just wake up and decide you're going to do these things. Something had to be stemming from somewhere. And that's what behavioral and mental health is. That's what getting a support network is. Being able to sit down with somebody and really having a conversation like, look, right now life is messed up for me and I feel like taking some folks out. Or, right now, and a lot of that behavior and some of the stuff with Diddy, if it's true with Jeffrey Epstein, for what we knew to be true, the narcissism that comes along with being on top of the world and feeling like you're untouchable. And as you get away with one thing, you're going to try the next thing. You're going to keep testing the waters. But if you already know at the end of the day, if I truly did these things and this was going to come out and this was going to hurt me, when you start processing this stuff and thinking about what's going to happen down the end road, and that's a lesson I can sit here and honestly say to you. That's something my husband used to tell me years ago. And there's a lot of things as I go through my healing process and go through my growth that I can remember him trying to tell me, but me not being receptive enough to listen and to see it from his perspective, because I wanted everything to be seen through my perspective, because that's what made sense to me, not realizing that that's how we all think until we stop and sit down and say, okay, this is what makes sense to me, but now I have to help it make sense to whomever I'm going to be delivering how I feel to. And we sit around and we're unhappy about certain things, but then you look at these celebrities, I'm telling y'all, that can go out here and do anything that they want to do, but they still end up leading and living miserable lives. Or you're sitting out here thinking you're not good enough, for who you're with, or you don't understand why, people won't do right by you and all this other stuff. If Beyonce marriage has issues, what makes you think yours won't? There's never, I'm not going to say never, because you can work towards that, but there will become some uncharted waters. There will be, some troubles that arise. It won't be all sunshiny days. And so I think New Edition said it best. You know, can you stand the rain? Sunny days, everybody loves them. But can you stand the rain? And I was one of those who didn't want it to rain. I can see it's raining. Let's just, overlook it. But if you never confront it and talk about it, discuss it, and see it head on, you will never see what changes you need to make to begin feeling better for you. So over these next, couple of weeks, as we gear up to get back started and doing things the normal way after the new year, but you guys, I will be, doing a video here and there. I want you to start thinking about all the progress that you made and start looking at the things that make you happy and start, doing those things that we talked about with self-care. And if you hadn't started doing them and you thought about some things, go back and look at your girl videos from starting to now. Subscribe, like, share, comment. Let's have real life conversations about how I can get to where I want to go, but to be comfortable in the skin that I'm in with who I am, and recognize that I am going to make mistakes. Because remember, failure is an option. They tell you failure is not an option. Yes, it is. Either you're going to succeed or you're going to fail, or you're not going to try. And to me, nothing beats a failure but a try. Because if you at least try and fail, you'll know rather than, not do it at all. So at any rate, I want you guys to enjoy your families, whatever it is that you may be celebrating, whether it's Christmas, Hanukkah, oh God, I know it, Kwanzaa, whatever it is you may be celebrating around this time. Just be grateful. Be thankful, enjoy those that are around you, enjoy yourself, and don't forget to, like I said, check your girl out. Be looking, be on the lookout for us getting back to our normal schedule. But in the meantime, please know that you matter. You've always mattered. And I want you to know, even if it's one of the toughest times in your life, still think about a happy moment you had with that person. And even if you have to smile through your tears, experience your loss in a different way this time. Just try it. Thank you guys, and I'll see you later.